Hi everybody, it's Lisa with Junk Journal Gems. Welcome back. We are going to do a little paper test before we really get started here. This is just the journal I'm using for now, and then I tend to hop around, so the next one's going to be the prom dress journal. But we talked in the last video about the different papers that we're using in the Jane Austen journal. We're using the Red River 32-pound paper, and then the antiqued paper, for lack of a better term, from Amazon. And I had mentioned in the video about using a fountain pen, and I got to thinking that I don't remember having tested the Red River paper, and certainly not the Amazon paper, using a fountain pen. So we're just going to try that because I was a little curious about it, and I thought I'd bring you along to do that. This fountain pen that I have is, I really like it. It's a TWSBI. I think it's an Eco, but it's really light and it's not too, some fountain pens are really pretty heavy. I have small hands, so I didn't want anything super huge and heavy. And I never post the cap on the end of the pen. It just gets too top heavy for my hand. Some people like it, but I love these TWSBIs. They're also easy to fill and clean out. So let's just give this a try. There's ink clots on my thing here. So it does do some feathering. Some of that might be the ink with this paper, but that's some pretty good feathering. And then we'll turn it over and see if it bleeds at all or ghosts. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's do the other one right away at the same time. Oh, right away I can see the ink sits on top of the paper a little bit longer. That tells me this is treated with something. There's no feathering on this one. I don't know if on camera you can see that it'll appear wet longer than it did on this. Okay, so let's see what we ended up with. This is no scientific test or anything. So this is the 32-pound Red River paper. It really did pretty good. It doesn't really ghost. I mean, I can see a bit where I wrote, but I've certainly seen worse than that. And there was no bleed whatsoever. But it does, I'm gonna see if you can tell. It does feather just a little bit. It's not a crisp look, meaning that there was some, the ink did spread out on the paper a little bit. But that's interesting because these papers from Red River are designed for inkjet printers. I'm way off camera again. So I just find that very curious. It doesn't bleed through, but you don't get a super crisp. Huh. That's interesting. So here's the Amazon paper. You really don't have bleed. That's pretty crisp. And there is absolutely, I can just barely see a little ghosting. No bleed through, but I bet each of these, if I got heavy with the ink, which, I mean, nobody really writes with a pen like that, but let's just see because I'm curious. Unless if someone's drawing. Some people do draw with a fountain pen. Still, that is pretty good. Okay, let's see there. Here we did just have a smidgen where it started to bleed through, barely ghosting, but wow, I'm really surprised with both. I just wanted to try this out in case people who write with fountain pens were ever interested in buying a junk journal, they would have to be careful about what kind of paper was the pages of the journal was from, because if you're using like a regular copy paper, that's probably not going to fare well with a fountain pen ink. But wow, if a journal is made with Red River paper, even this Amazon paper, you can definitely use a fountain pen. So that's really good news, huh? Well, we all learned something new today. Okay, moving on. I went ahead and put all of the pages together, and what I ended up doing is, instead of 4 signatures with 7 papers, what started to happen, and what we were going to talk about in this video, is that it starts pushing the pages to the middle out. Can you see where the edge of the top 2 are, and then this one sticks out farther? That's what we're going to cut and even up. But it was more so than before I broke this up. So I created what I mean by that is I created a 5th signature, and I have 2 of the signatures with 5 pages in it, and the rest of them have 6 pages or pieces of paper in them. So we're going to clean up these outside edges right now so they're all clean together. And this is how I go about doing that. Pardon me, I'm going to get a sip here. I just all of a sudden have a frog in my throat. Thank you. And pardon me. All right, so always tap it down. You want to make sure it's in as much as it can be, because when you do sew the signature in, it's going to pull it back in there pretty tight, or it should. So then I just take it and I put it in my paper cutter. And you got to have a pretty good paper cutter. This one has the like a self-healing blade in it. It's pretty sharp. This is a good little paper cutter. Actually, it's a big one. There are little ones. But if you see now, see all the edges are nice and crisp. That's what I was looking for. I didn't want it gator mouthy. You want to make sure that you're pressing this down really good. So that's that one. This is one of the thicker ones, so it's a little harder to pull. This is my exercise for the day, I guess. Got to get in shape for the upcoming wedding in the family anyway. In fact, when my husband is done mowing outside, we're going to go take a walk. It's such a nice evening. Whoop. See, I really should be doing this and pushing up against it. Another thick one. Another reason, if you're going to want a clean edge to your signatures, it's another reason to have fewer pages in a signature. I know some people go with more, and that's totally fine. It's just another way that people prefer to do this. This is just, I'm just explaining my reasoning on what I'm doing. It doesn't mean you have to do it this way. Oh, heavens to Betsy. Oh. There we go. Oh my gosh. But it's worth it. Look at how nice that looks. Okay. So that's that one. And then I'm going to do it quick for the other book since I've got this out. And again, if I'm exercising, I may as well keep it up. No quitting now. Two more. Hang in there with me. This one's a thick one, so I gotta stand up. Oofta. Sorry if that was loud. Last one, and it's a thick one again. Here we go. Oh, me oh my. There, we did it. And they all look so very nice. Get that one out of there. Much better. I feel good. Okay, put that one aside because that's for the other book. Clean up my mess so we can move on to the next thing. There. Okay. So what I debated doing was, I thought about in one of the books putting the signatures in right away, and in the other book not doing that, but I haven't decided yet exactly how I'm going to do the cover. So before I start using papers and things, I'm going to hold off on doing that and just start working on embellishing some of the pages and figuring out what we can do with that. So I take the top signature and I set the rest aside, and I just start flipping through and looking at, okay, what's looking a little naked? What might be fun to put in here? What might we want to set aside? All right, you know what I'm going to struggle with, I can see already, is doing anything with these lovely ladies that are on these pages. But I think I have an idea. So certainly on the front signature, let's make sure I've got the signature I want for the front. I do. I think what I will do is to put a little pocket here, and then we'll put some pockets on the pocket. So what do I mean by that? This is what I mean by that. We'll use some of these. Remember I said not to throw those away. And then the other thing that we can use, hold on, I'm going to get some other papers. Okay, I pulled some things that I wanted to put up next to the signatures to see if they would work. So I've got just a variety of selection. In some of these pages, some of the ladies, sure, now I'm not going to find one, but some of the ladies had a little blue in their dress. So I pulled some blue single-side cardstock. That definitely is not, I don't know that that's what I'm looking for. Here's some pinks. There's some pink on their dresses. So here's that. This might be a pattern that is more appropriate for the era. Certainly a damask would be. So not these, but some of these are a contender. So I'm going to keep these out. And what I do when I'm making journals is I go through this process of picking out papers, and then I kind of keep a stash next to me so I can grab whatever I want as I'm working with it. That might be a possibility. This might be. So let's take a look. That might be. Not that. What's that? Let's see. Ooh, this is definitely. This maybe. Ooh, wouldn't that be pretty? Okay, so we've got some options, and what we'll use these for is to make some pockets and that kind of thing. And then I also pulled some paper pads. This one I know has things like this. This will go beautifully. And these are textured. They almost feel like wallpaper. Look at this one. That definitely goes. Look at that. I thought there was, here's one of the ladies in blue. So we'll have to keep that in mind. But look how that goes. Yep. So that's a possibility. This pad will work out great, I think. There's some other options in here too. These are two-sided papers. These might be a little bright there. So these are contenders. We can use these for these card stocks for making pads. This is the paper pad, the Prima paper pad I used for, see, this will work out nicely. I use this pad for the prom dress journals. It's just got beautiful papers. So these are definitely something that we can look to. And then this is one I've not worked with yet. This is a Paper Studio one called Our Family Tree. A little lighter weight of paper. It's not really cardstock, it's more paper. But I like the aged look of them. Like, look at here. This will go super well. I like this. So we'll keep this to our side as well. And we can also pull in some music paper. Ooh, where did I see that one? Where'd you go? Here, this one's got some blues in it. That will work out nicely. So we've got some things that we can pull in. That one's got little labels on it. Cool. We've got options galore. I also pulled out this one. These might be a little out there for what we're looking for, but I pulled it just in case there was something in here that we could use. Nah, these are maybe that one. Maybe that one. I'll keep it out just in case. Okay, so we're gonna make a pocket. What do I first want to use for a pocket? She's got pink, and I was looking to one of these for that. Where did that one go? I should have marked it or pulled it right away. Thought it was in this one. I might be dreaming it. Here. That one might be, no, I like this one for the front. Let's do that. So I think I'll have the pocket about this big. Oh my goodness, can you hear? Pearl, no. No. Okay. Pearl, no. All right. Making messes here. I gotta find my marks. Dad's done mowing and is coming in, so the dogs are all excited about it. I'm gonna move these signatures out of the way so I can make sure I'm in frame for you. Set this aside so we can use that. And then I'd like to get a new, smaller paper cutter. I love this one so much. I do have a smaller one, but I don't know. I just don't care for it that much. And I think I will ink a little bit with this. Okay. Now, I'm going to put, there's my lady. There's kind of a right side up to this paper. So I'll put that there. I think I do want to ink it. And I'm also going to put a little thumb hole on there. I always like to round off the corners. I don't know why, I just think it looks more finished. There. Just a very simple pocket, but it will allow us to put some fun things in there. I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down. Ooh. I don't think I've been gluing for a while. Go. Oops, that came out of the punch. Perfect. All right, and then what we will do is take one of our scraps here, and we can make a couple little ephemera pockets on here. I think I'll stack it double. What do you think about that idea? I think that's an amazing idea, but I don't think I want it this color. I have another idea. I'm looking to see if I have scraps that will go with that. Yep. I thought so. There's always scraps in the scrap bucket. So I think what I'm going to do, oops, my lead broke on my pencil. We'll see if I can cut this straight. You know what? I know myself better than that. Who am I thinking I am? Hello, my paper cutter is huge. How do I lose it? It was sitting right behind me. Sorry, it's going to be loud. The hubby is right outside the window. Maybe I'll use more of the, ooh. I think I want to use this side. See, this kind of extra stuff helps you use up your scraps too. I could cut it a little wider than I wanted, or I didn't cut it wide enough. Made it wider than I wanted. That's what I meant to say. I'm just going to do a bitty punch on the top, thumb hole punch. Excuse my lovely hubby out there working so hard. Still deciding. Well, that's fine. There. Cute. And we'll put some embellishments on this. Dogs know Dad's outside, so they're used to being outside with him, and when he goes out there without him, they're not really crazy about that. Look at it's kind of like she's looking in the pocket. I like that. All right, let me get the punches out of the way. I keep my little rascal cart next to me with my punches in it. Now, this will fit in here, so we can do a little note piece to go in there. Okay. So I know how far in it can go. Seems like it should go in farther than that, doesn't it? Is it me? I'm gonna go with the other end since I folded that already. Why am I having such a time? No, it's as far as it'll go. Let's see if it's any different than the other one. A little bit. Yep. Worked a little better that time. So all I'm doing, this is a Corey Diamond thing. So I'm just folding that over and then folding this over, and then I will look to see you could also roll it up more than that if you wanted to. And then I am going to see where the center is just by giving it a pinch. And folding. You don't have to glue that down. I like to. In your journal, you do what makes you happy. It's the whole point of crafting. It should make you happy. Sorry, as usual, I couldn't put the needle in. All right, then I'm going to ink this a little bit. Not too much, just to keep with the aged look. I'm not really going for grungy in this journal, I'm just going for aged. There is a difference. In my mind, there is. Okay. Fun. You know what? I'm thinking I'm going to put a little something, something there. I don't know what yet, but hold that thought. I think on it, on the pocket I mean, where did I put my new, I've got my ephemera folio. I'm looking for my new butterflies. Here they are. And I'm gonna go with a pretty pink one. This one might be too big. I might have to go with a smaller one. Well, maybe not. Let's just go with that and see what happens. And then what I want to do behind it is I'm getting a little cheesecloth. Or maybe this. Let's see, I've got coffee dyed cheesecloth. Sorry if my head was in there. So we can go with that, or we can go, I like this already. I've got this coffee dyed lace stuff. I love using this stuff. And then what I tend to do when I glue it down is kind of bunch it up. Okay. Let's fussy cut a little bit more off the butterfly. There. I'm going to ink him just a little. Just because he'll jump off as being too white otherwise. Not much. I'm just kind of knocking that brightness of the white down a little. That's pretty. Okay. I'm going to get this down with some Fabri-Tac. See, I just lay it on there and I mush it. Part I don't like is the glue on the fingers. I've gotten better about it. When I first started making journals, I couldn't stand the glue on my fingers, but gotten used to it a little bit more. Same way when I'm gardening, I always have to wear gloves. I can't. I don't like dirty hands, I guess. Let's see. Let's put this little guy right there. That's cute. And then something teeny tiny I can put on there. Maybe. Ooh, let's see. Oh, I wondered. Well, maybe it would work. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna fussy cut out a little rose off this paper. That would be cute. You can tell that summer is coming to a close. It's starting to get dark earlier. Bummer. Oh yeah, that's cute. Okay, let's put that on there. Fun. And then that way, when we put it in the pocket, there, it looks like this. Here we go again. Why am I struggling with that today? It goes like that. Fun. And then we'll do a journaling. We'll come back and do a journaling card for in this pocket then. But this is just one way to get us going. So we've got all of our signatures cut so that they're all even pages, and we'll keep going through the signatures and embellishing them. So stay tuned through the process. And again, I hope that you're crafting along with me. If you want to share in the comments below what you're working on, I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, if you're not subscribing already, please subscribe and follow along with us at Junk Journal Gems, and have a great day.